Well, that was embarrassing. I'm going to break it all down on a Week 3 postcast, the Locked On Titans podcast. Let's get it.
You are Locked On Titans, your daily Tennessee Titans podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome to a Week 3 postcast. My instant reaction to the Tennessee Titans' embarrassing 27-3 loss to the Cleveland Browns. This was a total collapse by every single level of both the offense and the defense by the end. I'm going to dive into just my immediate thoughts coming out of that loss, where the Titans are at right now before we get into it. Thank you guys for making the Locked On Titans podcast your first listen each and every day. Remember, Monday through Friday, Tennessee Titans content all year round, always for free. Make sure you get subscribed, stay subscribed to the Locked On Titans podcast, where it's your team every day. So, 27-3 loss. Where do we begin here? Well, my first thought coming out of this loss immediately is the offensive line is just not going to be good enough. And we talked about this throughout the offseason, throughout training camp, leading up to the regular season. A lot of people were, it can't be worse than Dennis Daly. It can't be worse than last year. Well, just because there are new people doesn't mean that there are better people. And at the end of the day, Andre Dillard does not look like he is capable of being a starting left tackle in the NFL. I don't know if he's capable of being a starting lineman in the NFL. That's just a reality that was always on the table. It was always going to be a possibility that when the Titans were going with these low risk, low financial commitment, lottery ticket guys, Arden Key looks like he might have paid off. But Andre Dillard, the odds of Andre Dillard actually being a starting quality left tackle, just sitting on the bench for years in Philadelphia, was low anyways. And we're basically seeing the reality here. Andre Dillard is not it. He is not going to be good enough. And in my opinion, as much as we like Aaron Brewer, and as much as Aaron Brewer is a cool story, undrafted free agent, athletic guy, he is not good enough to be a starting offensive lineman in the NFL either. So when your center and your left tackle are going to consistently get beat, it puts you in a very tough position. The Titans obviously miss Peter Skoronski. Skoronski is a better player than Dylan Radins, no doubt about it. But at this point, we all have to talk about, if Andre Dillard is going to be this bad, the Titans may have to put Dylan Radins or Skoronski out at left tackle and let those two guys handle the left side, because Andre Dillard was that bad. But let me say this, though. Again, this was a total collapse by all levels, because consistently throughout the first half, the Titans had Andre Dillard blocking one-on-one against Myles Garrett. Why are you not having Chip help over there? Why isn't there a tight end or a running back over there to help? Why are you consistently allowing Andre Dillard to go one-on-one against Myles Garrett? Why is that the plan coming into the week? So that's a failure by the coaching staff. So make no mistake, the individual performance of the offensive line was the first dam to break, and the water started trickling through with that offensive line. The dam started to crack with the offensive line. But Tim Kelly and Mike Vrabel having Andre Dillard go one-on-one against Myles Garrett the entirety of the first half with no Chip help was absolutely insane. And that, it starts to crack more. And then Tannehill's under pressure a ton, and he's getting out of the pocket, and there may be a guy open, but he's throwing a bad pass because he's used to being under pressure, and there's so much pressure to make a good play when the offensive line cannot block, cannot protect the passer, cannot make any room in the run game. And then the wide receivers and the tight ends start to drop passes because the offensive line couldn't block a soul, especially on the left. I say the offensive line, I really mean from the center over. Andre Dillard was an absolute sieve throughout the game. So the offensive line can't block. The coaching staff doesn't have a smart plan for how to address the offensive line struggles. The quarterback then starts to miss throws. The wide receivers and the tight ends start to drop passes. And now everybody has so much weight on them, it's an avalanche. It's an offensive avalanche is what it is. But it starts with the offensive line and the foundation absolutely crumbling. So the Titans are going to have to answer some questions about that. But I want to talk about the failures on the defensive side as well in this postcast reaction. Let me know down below, how are you feeling about the Tennessee Titans right now? Is it time to hit the panic button? Do you think this season is falling to the wayside? What are your immediate emotional reactions to this embarrassing loss? This is a safe space, Titans fans. Let it all out here. But before we move forward, do want to let you guys know that this postcast is brought to you by LinkedIn Jobs. Look, guys, these days, every new potential hire can feel like a high-stakes wager for your small business. You want to be 100% certain that you have access to the best qualified candidates available. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the right people for your team faster and for free. All you got to do is create a free job post on LinkedIn Jobs, then add your job in the purple hashtag hiring frame to your profile, and they're going to spread the word that you're hiring. They have simple tools like screening questions. It's why small businesses rate LinkedIn Jobs #1 and delivering quality hires versus leading competitors. LinkedIn Jobs helps you find the qualified candidates you want to talk to faster. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL. That's linkedin.com/LockedOnNFL to post your job for free. Terms and conditions apply. Also want to let you guys know that today's episode is brought to you by DoorDash. If you love the convenience of getting what you want right to your door, with DoorDash grocery delivery, you can stock up for the week or order last-minute cravings conveniently. Burnt your last piece of toast? Avocado's gone bad? Or is the hot sauce bottle empty? Try grocery delivery from DoorDash. You'll get everything you want delivered when you need it, right to your door. You've trusted DoorDash to deliver restaurant favorites, and now you can get grocery delivery that actually delivers too. With thousands of grocery stores to choose from, you'll find the best in your neighborhood and boost your local economy with each and every order. Get 50% off your first DoorDash order up to $20 value when you use code LOCKEDONNFL at checkout. Limited time offer. Terms apply. That's 50% off up to $20, no min subtotal, and zero delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and enter code LOCKEDONNFL. Don't forget, that's code LOCKEDONNFL for 50% off your first order with DoorDash. All right, Titans fans, we talked about the absolute collapse of the offense. It was an avalanche, starting with the offensive line, continuing with a lack of adjustments to help the offensive line. Then it fell on to Ryan Tannehill, who missed some passes, and then we see a drop from Burks, a drop from Chig, and it's just on everybody, and the pressure is too much to overcome. An embarrassing loss for the Tennessee Titans, 27-3, but it got to the defense too. And we don't want to excuse the defense, because the reality here is early in the game, the Titans pass rush, it starts up front, just like the offense. The Titans pass rush missed sacks. I mean, I counted, I think, 5 missed sacks on Deshaun Watson throughout the game. But on the very first third down, Arden Key misses a sack on Watson. Simmons misses a sack on Watson. It's like, if those two guys are going to miss, the Titans are in for a very, very long day. And it just continued. It just continued throughout the day. The Titans pass rush got less and less effective. They couldn't do anything. I mean, the Titans pass rush. Here's the reality. This defense is just not as good as we hoped it would be. All right? That is the truth. The pass rush is not as effective as we all think it's going to be. Top 5, top 3 in sacks, all that. They're not quite there. Harold Landry has not come back to form. Jeffrey Simmons honestly needs to play better at times too. In this game specifically, I thought he needed to play better in this game. And then it just continues. Because once the pass rush isn't getting pressure, this secondary stands no chance. The reality here is the Tennessee Titans cornerback group, outside of Sean Murphy-Bunting, who was a great add. Sean Murphy-Bunting was good in this game. I know he got a couple of penalties. I thought they were ticky-tack. Sean Murphy-Bunting has been good. But Christian Fulton and Roger McCreary are not good enough in ball situations. Catch point situations. It happened all year last year. It's happening now. They're in position, but they just can't make the play on the ball. They're just not good enough in catch point situations. They're not. So when the pressure starts to decrease because the Titans defense is getting tired, and make no mistake, that's a big part of it here. The offense is doing nothing. So the defense is getting tired. And then the pass rush isn't as good as the game goes on because they are absolutely tired because the offense is 3 and out, 4 and out, 5 and out, 6 and out, giving them nothing. And we have to acknowledge the psychological aspect of playing sports and football. If your offense is doing absolutely nothing and looks pedestrian or less than pedestrian, at some point the defense's spirit will break. The defense's spirit will break. So the defense deserves their blame. Make no mistake about it. But at some point in time, this defense is tired. This defense's spirit is broken. So Fulton was miserable. The pass rush missed sacks at the beginning of the game. But at some point, the offense's impact on the defense and their fatigue and their fitness and their confidence has to be something we talk about. Guys, we are living in a simulation here. We are in a time loop as Tennessee Titans fans. We're in a time loop. The offense is so terrible that eventually people start to blame the defense, and we go round and round and round. And that brings me to the last thing I want to talk about in this last 5 minutes. Where do we go from here? Again, let it out, Titans fans. Let it out in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter, at TicTacTitans. Let it out here. This is a safe space. Does this mean that the Tennessee Titans are going to be terrible this year? No, it doesn't. They'll probably win their fair share of games, and they'll play better than they played against the Browns. They will. But if the Titans don't turn it around soon, then at some point, they're just going to have to look themselves in the mirror and realize, what is this season? Where are we going? Because I don't know right now if this offensive line is good enough to ever give the Titans a chance to do anything. Right now, acting like the Titans have a chance at the Super Bowl, even if they improved, is asinine. You can't justify that right now. You can't. So at some point, if they're going to put performances, and I think the Browns are a good team. I think the Browns are good. I put a poll out last week. Who had the better roster on paper? With the teams that were going to be playing this weekend on paper, who had a better roster? 72% Titans. I could not believe it. The Browns absolutely have a better roster than the Titans. You guys kill me with that stuff sometimes. That was crazy. So I think the Browns are a good team. But they're not that good to make the Titans look like that. The only answer to that is that the Titans are very bad. I don't think the Titans are going to be very bad, but at some point, how good can they be is the question. And if you're watching this show right now, or you're listening to this on Monday morning, and you're thinking in your head, this team's awful. Put in one of the quarterbacks that I like, one of the young guys. They're not going anywhere this year. What are we doing? I don't think you're crazy either. And let me just say this. We're waiting on the status of Joe Burrow. Will Joe Burrow play? There's some talk that Joe Burrow could miss a couple of weeks. If the Titans lose to the Bengals and they don't have Joe Burrow, we're only 4 weeks in, but I'm okay with people pressing the panic button at that point. But the Titans need to search their soul right here, right now. Because if they go to 1-3, the Colts look better than people expected. The Ravens are going to be good, and they're playing in London. The Titans need to do some soul searching right now and really decide what they want to do with this season, because performances like that, it's hard to justify doing anything but prioritizing the future when you see performances like that, because the Titans have too many non-great aspects to their football team. It's just not good enough. It's embarrassing, and they need to figure out what they need to do from here. So we're going to continue talking about that. I'm going to be back later on tonight with a full 30-minute recap. Thank you guys for tuning in. That is going to do it for today's Week 3 postcast. Again, I'll be back later tonight. As always, I am your host, Tyler Rowland, and this was Locked On Titans.